Average height of a Harappan male was 5 feet 9 inches, and average height of a Harappan female was 5 feet 5 inches. That's much taller than modern Indians. They ate well. So, what nutrient rich food did they consume? What was their diet composed of? What did they eat? What we know of Harappan diet comes from archaeological remains of plants and animals, and starch grain analysis and lipid residue analysis run on mainly pottery shards, grinding stones, and teeth remains. Cereals such as wheat and barley were the staple, and they were used to make rotis and porridge. Various kinds of millets such as ragi, pearl millet, sorghum, foxtail millet, little millet, proso millet, and amaranth were grown for consumption. Millets were of indigenous, Southwest Asian, and African origin. Rice was also eaten in some parts, and some wild grains were also consumed. Harappans consumed variety of pulses, lentils, and beans such as peas, chickpeas, green gram, black gram, pigeon pea, horse gram, hyacinth beans. Harappans were masters at exploiting their surroundings to their full advantage. That's exactly what they did for their food as well. The very impressive and kaleidoscopic food culture of India stands firm on the strong foundation Harappans laid. Moving on from glazing our prehistoric ancestors, journey of curry started in the Harappan pots. And what makes curry a curry? Of course, spices. Lipid residue analysis has provided evidence for spices like turmeric, ginger, garlic in the same pot. This is how we know Harappans invented curry. Other spices Harappans knew of are mustard seeds, cumin, cinnamon, peppercorns, black pepper seeds, coriander both seeds and leaves, sesame seeds, maybe even asafoetida and poppy seeds. What kind of vegetables did Harappans put in their curry? They cultivated vegetables and greens like gourds, eggplants, brassica or cabbage-like vegetables, brown mustard greens, and okra. Is it possible they cooked something like bangan ka bhatta or bindi ki sabzi? It's harder to figure out what fruits they ate since fruits are rarely cooked and consumed directly usually. Lipid residue and starch grain analysis are of little help here. Remnants of seeds, preserved fruits, and peels are our only reliables. But so far we know they consumed fruits like mangoes, melons, jujube, bananas, grapes, fresh and dried, capers, figs, dates, and Indian gooseberry. What other plant-sourced foods did Harappans consume? Nuts like walnuts, mustard seeds, flax or linseed seeds, and sesame seeds. There's some evidence for use of vegetable oil as well. They also consumed sugarcane. Harappans, along with cultivating before mentioned cereals, lentils, pulses, vegetables, and fruits. They also collected wild grains, beans, pulses, lentils, vegetables, and fruits. Harappan diet was dominated by meat, mainly of the animals they domesticated. 80% of the bones recovered from Harappan sites were of domestic animals. They also consumed milk and processed milk for other dairy products like yogurt, curd, butter, ghee, and maybe even paneer and other kinds of cheese. Clearly, Harappan diet was protein rich, which explains their height. They domesticated cows, buffaloes, goats, sheep, pigs, chickens for meat and dairy. Judging from the proportions of cattle bones found in Harappan sites, beef dominated their meat intake. They also hunted wild animals such as deer, antelopes like gazelles, nilgai and black buck, wild boars, variety of wild fowls, hares, birds and reptiles like certain lizards, turtle, tortoise, gharial, a type of crocodile endemic to India. Other sources of meat were fish and shellfish from both fresh and marine waters. Bet they made mouth-watering meat dishes. They also dried and salted their fish and meat. Bengalis will be happy to learn that Harappans consumed hilsa fish. Jackfish and catfish, types of marine fishes, were imported to deeper inlands. Harappans also brewed wine. We don't have recipe of any particular dish except for 6 to 7 multigrain laddus or food balls that were found well preserved in a Harappan site in Rajasthan. Laddus were made out of barley, wheat, chickpea and all seeds like sesame, flax and more. Do we know the ways they cooked their food? Well, yes, somewhat. We know a bit about that. According to Kenayar, lentils were stewed or fried, tubers baked, meat was grilled, roasted, stewed, fried or minced with various herbs and spices. Organic analysis, that is lipid residue analysis and starch grain analysis, are new to the Indian archaeological scene. Surely the future will shed more light on the past dietary habits of our prehistoric ancestors. Hopefully soon we'll have a complete picture of Harappan diet. If we're lucky, who knows, maybe we'll learn about specific recipes. Let's hope so. What other ways can we employ to piece the diet puzzle? Certain foods like honey, mushrooms, tubers, and roots were consumed by ancient hunter gatherer population all over the world. They're easily accessible. Modern hunter gatherer communities also depend on them. They're consumed by people of modern cultures across the world. So it's reasonable to assume the Harappan farmers would have consumed the local varieties. Another way is to think about native species that are consumed today in India, like bamboo shoots, cucumber, colocasia leaves, and local yams and tubers. Lotus roots and seeds are also eaten. Tubers like sweet potato, elephant foot yam, and many more are also consumed. Maybe Harappans too consumed it. If they're domesticated, there's even better chance. It's very likely Harappans started the domestication or at least consumed the wild variety. For example, jackfruit. Jackfruit ripened, unripe, cooked, and seeds roasted are consumed all over India. Its cultivation began between 3000 to 6000 years ago. Maybe even wild jack, a South Indian native resembling jackfruit, was also eaten. Plants like basil, onion, and fenugreek grew wild in North India, along with coriander, garlic, ginger, turmeric, cinnamon, and cumin, which we know Harappans consumed. Wild spices like cloves, cardamom, nutmeg grew mainly in South India. So it's highly likely Harappans consumed basil, onion, fenugreek, and imported cloves, cardamom, and nutmeg from South India. Tamarind was also used by Harappans. We know Harappans consumed bananas. Indians today consume not only cooked plantains but also banana stem and even flowers. Harappans might have been the first to exploit various parts of banana plant. Native species like pomegranate, Java or Malabar plum, mulberries, saffron, Central Asian native apricot, some citrus fruits, various wild berries probably were consumed as well. We can expand this list through extensive research. We can actively look for evidence of their consumption. That's it for the video. Bye.